Wessler with PIF Technologies, another IDP, Intelligent Document Processing Review. Today we're going to be looking at Docsumo. You can see here one of the leaders on G2. I signed up for the 14-day free trial. It was very easy to use. So let's jump in. So this was, I think the UI, what I really like about this is it was really quick to build some invoice processing, as we typically use AP invoices as our use case. A few things here. I was very easily able to add invoices and start processing documents immediately. So if you go to AI Models Hub, you can see they have 50 pre-built templates, so to speak, or models, and one of them is the invoice model. And you can see here other things like utility bills, bank statements, table extractor, which does come in the invoice. But you can see there's a number of these kind of models that you can start to build a doc type on. So I selected invoice here. I hit add now, and it built this doc type immediately for me, which was super neat. So once I got this, I can come in here and configure. And when I'm configuring, one of the things was easy is just uploading some of the documents. Now you see here, upload, you can manually upload a file or a folder. I'm going to go into some of the input outputs that are available. This isn't a batch-based system. It's typically one document equals a batch, which is not something I'm used to, but I do like the concept of the different queues here, or the statuses. Not something different than really anybody else is doing. But when you start to configure, I really like some of these features. So on the general tab, certainly the ability to assign specific users and human in the loop functionality, notifying specific users, the ability to do straight through processing. Believe it or not, that's actually not in a lot of products, where if the confidence is high and the system feels that it's learned the particular document, in this case an invoice, will allow it to go right to export. I really like that. The load balancing also, so you can choose users to evenly distribute new uploaded documents. This is a little bit of like a load balancing function. It's kind of cool. That's right out of the box. Pre-processing. So it does have auto orientation, which is nice. So you can see here, you also have this OCR and digital documents, where you can say only look for logos and image blocks. The document separations, what you typically would see in most IDP solutions, which is a fixed number of pages, a QR code or a barcode, an API, and a text pattern. So using regular expression to find text patterns on each page. That's not ideal. We're looking for more like computer vision, where you can upload a sample of the image, and that would reduce a lot of the complexity in writing a lot of regex. But it's cool that it's actually built into the core product. Import and export, as most of these newer IDP players like .convert last week, there's limited input exports, but most of these newcomers don't really focus on the legacy stuff. Legacy batch processing, so the ability to monitor a hot folder, have a gateway client that can monitor a local SMB on your LAN WAN when this is in the cloud. The ability to do database lookups that way, a lot of those things. But you can see your typical import is either from Zapier. Zapier would cost, you have to sign up for that. Email would obviously be the most common. And then export, you really don't have. They have this webhook kind of capability, and you can individually download data. But again, a lot of that's programmatic. I do like they have analytics built directly into the interface. I haven't played around with this too much, but you can see you have some filtering, and then you can download the report. It looks very high level. But if we go to the extraction here, this is something that's pretty cool as well. Is this AI assist? It's allows for generating AI-based suggestions when the model fails. And this, I've never heard of this. Few shot learning generates accurate predictions with rapid auto learning from limited examples. So based on, and they have great documentation. Anytime you just click on this little icon, it launches that area. And few-shot learning leverages essentially your historical actions and interactions with that particular document type to discern what to extract, which is these are some really cool things. Um, and then post-processing, and I looked up the documentation on this. It's basically like your typical trim, left, right. It's all JavaScript out of the box. When we set this up, it's going to automatically come with the pre-built fields for their invoice model, and a lot of these fields aren't really specific to US type companies. So you can see here, I'm going to go in and actually modify the fields. And so I just go into document type, edit fields. I can come in and start to edit the metadata fields that are being extracted by default. And you'll see here there are some additional fields that are kind of hidden, and you can unhide them. You can also come in to each field into the setting and decide what it is in terms of the data type, the auto extracted value, which you can by default, these are all the fields that get returned with the invoice model. So you can basically set what field label or key would be associated with the appropriate invoice information. And then they have this advanced thing. This is pretty cool. So you can enforce whether it's a required field or not. It's general confidence. So when you do want to do straight through processing, if it goes over 80%, it will move forward. This is interesting. So sentence type, whether it's a block, a sentence, or a paragraph, so it knows how to handle that along with the AI Assist help text. So if you add certain keywords, what I'm going to show you next with the chat AI thing, and we have this embedded in our Microsoft platform, but this is pretty cool for some typical processes. It's pretty cool that most IDP solutions really don't have that. Now you also have this custom post-processing capability where you can concatenate and do all sorts of different things in leveraging multiple metadata values and possibly the ability to concatenate or calculate math problems, things like that. So you have a lot of flexibility right in the actual field. Now we can come in here and you can see there's different sections. Like the table line items, for instance. I wanted product code, quantity, description. And then when I hit save and extract, I say apply to all new and existing documents. So you see now the line item table should have, as you see, product code. And then I can just, I don't really like bounding box. So it does have some page manipulation. Split document. Okay, so you can come in here and split the document if there was multiple pages. So some minimal kind of document manipulation capabilities. You have your bounding box. Let's just say there really isn't, most IDP will actually, once you start capturing that column, it will start to auto-populate. Okay, so as you see, it not terrible. Not a, it does automatically kind of bound the boxes, as you can see here, but in certain cases, if you wanted to grab like this number here and you just click on it, it populates, which is pretty cool. And then you can add additional lines, remove lines. I really like that. There's some alignment stuff. You don't see this often, but we'll confirm that. Okay, so we've loaded the document here, and you can see how the invoice model automatically came and extracted a whole bunch of information. Here, we're going to want to grab the product codes. So we come in, we click. Interesting. And I don't like the tab order. So if you tab, I guess it's all right. All right, so we've confirmed that. Now, one of the cool things is this new chat AI here. So like you can ask it certain questions. So like, what is the vendor name of this invoice? So this form of conversational chat, and as you can see, the vendor name of this invoice is Acme Company. So the chat AI function allows for all the data that's being collected to be, ask typical custom prompting questions to find certain information. Really like that. Overall, a nice solution. Security-wise, you got all the typical security settings for two-factor, single sign-on. Users, as you can see here, you can add users. There's limited, kind of roles. As you can see here, you got moderator, member, admin, and you can select essentially what processors, or as they call them, models, are available to you. So there is limited in terms of what you can actually do. The database capabilities, so you can import a CSV file. It would be nice if there was a gateway client for local uh, local database connections. So a gateway client that could be distributed. You notice the integrations here, so they do have the ability to do webhooks. So theoretically, we could hook into really anything that is accessible through a web service and API. You can see here, there's all sorts of notifications that you can enable. And then lastly, commercially, 50 cents a page, kind of a lot. It is a full-featured solution, but you're double the price of an Abby Vantage. So I don't know, Abby's a very well-rounded product, comes with a lot of different things. And then also this has up to 3 users. The Abby model is unlimited, and it's based on the page. But as you can see here, I guess there is some, unlimited capabilities here. And as you see, as you pay as you go is very limited. And you can't get most of the stuff. So 50 cents a page, that's quite a bit. But very easy and great documentation. If you go to their documentation page, you can see here, they have very nice documentation. Well, it's a well-rounded product. Certainly if you're looking for a solution that's not batch-based, where you can leverage some of this auto-learning and some of this chat AI stuff, I really like that. These guys are, I can see, a up-and-comer, and I'll look to hear more about them in the future. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.